The House Republicans on the Intel Committee found that there was no collusion with the Russians. In fact, the president liked it so much, he sent out this tweet in all caps, which is the same as yelling.
Yeah, so yell it, Ainsley.
All right, the House Intelligence Committee has, after a 14-month-long, in-depth investigation, found no evidence of collusion or coordination between the Trump campaign and Russia to influence the 2016 presidential election. I saw you grab your ear. So I'd try not to yell too much.
That remind me
that
of...
means it's rude. It is rude to yell.
Right.
He's just excited. That
he is excited.
The early SNL used to say our top story tonight. Meanwhile, the quick outline of what they discovered over the past year plus. No evidence of collusion or conspiracy. The Russian cyber attacks actually happened. The U.S. political institutions. The one thing I think is clear where the Democrats and Republicans differ is that the Republicans found no evidence that the Russians wanted Trump to win.
Which is different than what the intelligence community has come out with. Mike Conaway heads up this particular report. It will be released to the Democrats. They're going to get a chance to add things to it before the final report comes out. It has to be declassified, but he makes it very clear. This whole thing was about Russia collusion. There wasn't any. Here he is.
We've looked at some 300,000 documents, 73 interviews that we've done across the course of this thing, trying to answer the 4 questions that were originally sent out for the committee to answer. Yes, the Russians tried to interfere with our election process. Yes, they had cyber attacks, active measures going on. We could find no evidence of collusion between either campaign and the Russians. And we also have some recommendations, or will have recommendations, that speak to what we do with elections going forward, how important it is for Americans to be on guard on a process that's sacred to our democracy, our representative republic, quite frankly, and that is the electing of leadership across this country.
He said no collusion between both campaigns. That's Trump and that's Hillary Clinton. However, this did not focus on the dossier, did not focus on the FISA abuse and the unmasking. Those are separate investigations.
Right. There is a little news about the dossier yesterday. Sarah Carter has been told by, she's a great investigative reporter up on Capitol Hill, she was told by government sources that apparently the former National Intelligence Director, James Clapper, actually leaked to CNN classified briefings that were had between Donald Trump and also Barack Obama, where they talked about the dossier. So, and then
you mean the National Intelligence Director?
Right, was leaking to CNN while he was National Intelligence Director classified information that the president and future president were both briefed on the dossier, and that's what got the dirty dossier going. Mr. Clapper himself later came out and said, these leaks are corrosive, they're really bad, but according to Sarah Carter's government sources, he's the guy who leaked to CNN.
Meanwhile, Adam Schiff, outraged by this. He would not.
Bipartisan investigation.
Right. He says that, the Democrats don't agree with ending this abruptly, the investigation when it did. He says GOP just shut down House Intel investigation, leaving questions unanswered, leads unexplored, countless witnesses uncalled, subpoenas unissued. If Russians have leverage over the president, GOP has decided it would rather not know. The minority's work continues. He would not commit to saying that if they get the majority, that he would reopen the investigation. He says it depends on what the Senate has to say. But I also said it's kind of interesting that Senator Burr, who's leading the Intelligence Committee investigation over there, they say it should be ready to release the initial version of its report sometime in the next couple of weeks. So we're finally moving forward.
I understand the Democrats are saying, all right, Republicans have the majority. They're more Republicans in the House Intel Committee. Here's my response to those Democrats, especially Adam Schiff. Show us the evidence. Show us the evidence. You've had 14 months. Fine. You say that this happened. Let's see it. Let's see the evidence. How much more time do you need?
Well, he needs a lot more time on television. He's had close to 300 appearances.
He has. They did find bad judgment and some inappropriate meetings. They did say that meeting between the Russian lawyer in Trump Tower in early 2016 was a dumb idea. It never should have happened.
And lackluster response
by the Barack Obama administration.
And that's coming out of Michael Isikoff's book, which I'm going to be fascinated to read shortly, about why Susan Rice said stand down, essentially, when people started moving forward with concern summer of 2016 with what are the Russians doing in our election.